皆様、本
Well, thank you very much for joining this event, Osaka Culinary Immersion International Symposium. And serving as today's meeting as moderator, my name is Kyoko Nakayama, food journalist. It's very nice to meet you. So first, I would like to just translate. I would like to explain how to use this translation receiver. Japanese language in channel 1 and English in channel 2. So please just tune into the language you would like to listen to in. And then first, Osaka Prefecture Growth Strategy Ambassador Mr. Matt Goldings kindly sent us a special message for this event.
Konnichiwa, Osaka. My name is Matt Goulding. I am a writer, I'm a producer, I'm a cook, and most importantly, I'm a deep lover and believer in Osaka. I also happen to be the city's culinary ambassador, both to the city and to the prefecture of Osaka, which is a role that I take very seriously and a role that my young California born self could never have imagined in a million years. And yet, I've been given this honor by the prefecture. And like I said, I take that very seriously. So I want to welcome you all to Osaka Culinary Immersion. This is an incredibly exciting event, a very exciting time in the midst of a really great and very special year for Osaka. At the end of the expo, with the world's attention on this remarkable place, I want to share with you a little bit about what makes me, as I said, both a lover and a believer in Osaka. So my first experience in Japan came from 2008, and like a lot of people who come to the country, I knew two places I wanted to go. I wanted to go to Tokyo, the big sprawling metropolis, the capital of the country, a reflection of modern Japanese life, and Kyoto, the ancient capital filled with beautiful temples and shrines and extraordinary history. And of course, I knew about Osaka, but I never made it there. And it wasn't until maybe 5 years later when I came back and I was working on a book about Japanese food culture called Rice Noodle Fish that I spent a number of days in Osaka, and it forever changed me. I got off the train. I'd been put in touch with a local food expert named Yuko Suzuki, and that night, stepping off the train into the Osaka evening, Yuko took me on one of the great food crawls of my life. We started at a horumon place, eating grilled intestine and tripe and skirt steak and cow tongue in a small, packed, densely electric kind of restaurant. From there, we went to a capo counter-style restaurant serving maybe 10 or 12 people, extraordinary seasonal creations from the chef passed directly from his hands to our plates, but at the highest possible level of cooking, but this incredible relaxed atmosphere, and then finishing with some extraordinary versions of Osaka's most famous foods, takoyaki, okonomiyaki, but done in a beautiful restaurant with champagne and great Japanese sake. It was the beginning of a real love relationship that I have with the city and with the prefecture beyond. And what is it? What is that love all about? And really, for me, of course, the quality of food is not debatable. It's been known as the kitchen of Japan historically for hundreds of years for a good reason. Rice and fish and sake and tea would come into the ports of Osaka, be traded there throughout the country and beyond. And that focus on the quality of ingredients really lives on today. But it's more than that, right? It's this dedication to eating well. Kuidore, which is roughly translated to eat until you drop. And that's what I did in my first week in Osaka, and that's what I've done ever since. But it's not about gluttony. It's not about quantity. It's about love, about really focusing on food as this incredible vessel that brings us together. In Osaka, whenever I leave the city, I always leave with new friends and new relationships, because I found that in the restaurants and the bars of Osaka, it's incredibly easy to meet people, to share a meal. Even if you don't share the language, you find a way to communicate. And the legendary hospitality and friendliness of the city really continues to make it one of the most exciting places in the world to go to. And it is undeniably one of the most delicious cities on the planet. Why? Because it has everything, from some of the greatest Michelin 3-star temples to some of the most unexpected, casual, low-key, surprising, back alley, mom and pop run restaurants that will change you. And when I go to Osaka, I try to take a little bit of all of that in. And so Osaka Culinary Immersion is just another chapter in this prefecture's long love affair and dedication to eating as well as possible. It's something that locals have known forever. It's something that the Japanese have known forever. And increasingly, it's something that the world will know. We continue to tell this story as loudly and as proudly as possible. And this event is a part of that story. So I wish I was there to be enjoying the incredible riches of the city with everyone. But I trust that everyone is going to have a really amazing few days eating, talking, thinking about food, and beginning a new tradition here in Osaka. So with that, the Osaka Culinary Immersion begins now. Have a good time.
はい、マットさんどうもありがとう
Well,
ございました。
thank you very much, Matt.
続きましてご来
And
賓を代
then,
表して
on behalf of the distinguished guest, I would
大
like
臣官房審議官西京子様よりご挨拶をいただきます。
Director
西
General,
様どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
Deputy Director General and Minister Secretariat, Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries.
皆様こんばんは。
Good evening,
ただい
everyone.
まご紹介をいただきました。
Thank you for the introduction. My name is Nariko sorry,
本日はこのように
Kyoko
素晴らしいシンポジ
Nishi,
ウム
Deputy
大阪カリナリー
Director
マージョン
General
天下の
and
台所
Minister
大阪の
Secretariat
食文化に
Ministry
没
of
入する
Agriculture,
に
Forestry
お
and
招きをいただき
Fisheries.
まして
I'm deeply
大変
honored
光
to
栄
be
に存じま
invited
す。
to this wonderful
主催者の
symposium,
大阪府
Osaka
をはじ
Culinary
め
Immersion,
今回の
delving
開
into the
催に
food
あたり
culture of
ご
Osaka,
尽
the
力をされた皆
nation's
様に
kitchen. I
心
would
から
like to
敬意を表
express
し
my
ます。
sincere respect to Osaka
さ
Prefecture,
て
the
私
organizer,
は現
and
在
all who
自
have
然資
worked
本
so
からな
hard to
る
make
産
this
業である
event
農
possible.
林水産業の営み
Currently,
が
my
気
work
候変動によ
focuses
って
on
さまざ
viewing
まな影響を受
agriculture,
け、また
forestry, and
逆
the
に影響を
fisheries
与えて
industries
いる
based
と
on
いう
natural
中で、
capital through
環
the
境
lens
と
of the
調和をし
environment,
て
as
生
these
産力と
activities
持
are
続性
both
の両
affected
立を
by
実
and
現するため
contribute to
に
the climate
農林
change.
水産
We
業者
seek
を
to
環境
harmonize
から見る
with the
とい
environment
う仕事
while
を今
achieving
担
both
当しております。
productivity and
そのような
sustainability.
私が
I
本
believe
日ここ
I
にお
was
招きを
invited
いただき
here
ましたの
today
は農林
because
水
of
産省
my
で過
past
去和
experience
食
at the
室長
ministry,
を10ヶ
serving
月
for 10 months as
食文
head
化
of
市場
Washok
開拓課
office
長を
and
3
for
年
3
務めた
years
おか
as
げかな
director
と
of
いう
the
ふうに
food
思っており
culture
ます。
and market
食文化政
development
策に
division.
4年間弱
I
従
spent
事をいたし
nearly
まし
4
て、
years
それ以
engaged
降
in food
食文
culture
化を通
policy,
じて
and
日本
ever
の価値
since
を高めて
promoting
いくと
Japan's
いう
value through
発
food
信をする
culture
という
has
こと
become
は
my
いわ
life's
ば私
work.
のライフワークにもなってございます。皆様ご案
As
内
you
の
know,
通り、2013
in
年に
2013,
和食、日本人の
Washoku,
伝統的な
traditional
食文
dietary
化、
cultures
正月
of
を
the
例とし
Japanese,
て、
notably for
が
the
ユネスコの無形文
celebration
化遺
of
産
New
に登
Year,
録をされま
was
した。
inscribed on
ユネス
UNESCO's
コに登録さ
intangible
れた
culture
日
heritage
本の食
list.
文化は、
What
お
was
寿司であります
recognized
とか、
was
天
not
ぷらとか、お
sushi,
好み焼きとか、
tempura, or
具体的なメニューが
okonomiyaki,
登録されたというわ
specific
けではあり
dishes,
ません。
but
自然を
rather
尊重す
the
るという
traditions
先進性
surrounding
に
the
基づい
Japanese
た日
food
本人の
based on
食
the
に関す
spirit
る
of
習わしが
respect
登
for
録をされた
nature.
ということでございます。そして日本食
It
が
was
世界
not
で
inscribed
人気を
simply
博し
because
ているから
Japanese
登
food
録をされ
is
たと
popular
いうわけでも
worldwide.
ございません。その地域
Rather,
の歴史や風土、
UNESCO
人々の
recognized
暮らし
that
に
it is
根
a
ざした
valuable
貴重
cultural
な文化
heritage
的な価値
rooted
に
in
つ
the
い
history
て
and daily
世界
life
を
of
見
the
渡し
people,
てずっと
something
残
worth
したいという
preserving
ものな
for
ので、
future
その国
generations
の政府
globally.
はあらゆる手段を講じ
By
て
being
その文化を保護継承し、未来永劫
Inscribed
世界
as
の方
intangible
々が享
cultural
受できるものに
heritage,
しな
a
さいと
government is
いうこの
entrusted
責務
with
が
the
国家責務が
responsibility
政
to
府に
do
課される
everything
というの
possible
が
to
実はユネス
protect
コの
and
無形文化遺
transmit
産登録にな
this
ると
culture
いうこ
so
とでご
that
ざいま
people
す。
everywhere can enjoy it
和
for
食文化の
generations
登
to
録を
come.
受けまして、その責務を果
Following
たす
the
組織として
inscription
農
or
林水
listing
産
of
省に
Washoku, the
食文化市
Ministry
場開
of
拓の新設
Agriculture,
とその
Forestry
家内
and
に和食
Fisheries
室が創設を
established
さ
the
れまし
food
た。
culture and market
私は3
development
代目の和
division
食室
with a washoku office created within it to fulfill this responsibility. I served as the third head of the washoku office and the second director of the Food Culture Division. Today, the organization has been renamed the Division of Food Service and Food Culture and the Food Culture Office. As part of its effort to protect and transmit washoku culture, the ministry compiles diverse information on Japanese food culture, highlighting regional characteristics and making it accessible through a website and other media. We also carry out human resource development activities so that people of all generations, from childcare to compulsory education and later as adults, can integrate washoku culture into their daily lives. As part of these initiatives, we created a database of the histories, recipes, and the regional backgrounds of local dishes selected from all 47 prefectures and published them on the ministry's website under the title Our Regional Cuisine. For Osaka Prefecture, 30 dishes have been selected and introduced as area stories. Since this is a special opportunity, I would like to share a few with you today.
全国の特産品が集まる天下の台所で花開いた豊かな
A rich food culture blossomed in Osaka, the nation's kitchen where specialties from across Japan gathered. Osaka Prefecture spreads across a fertile plain in the center, bordered by the Aseto Island Sea to the west and surrounded by mountains to the north, east, and south. With its mild climate throughout the year, it's been blessed with bountiful seafood and mountain produce. At the end of the 16th century, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, who unified the nation, chose Osaka as his stronghold. And then, even after the political center shifted to Edo in the Edo period, Osaka remained a major hub of commerce and economy, supported by its developed land and sea transportation networks. Rice paid as a tax and the local specialties from across Japan were brought to Osaka's storehouses, traded by merchants, and then redistributed throughout the country. And then, as ingredients from every region were actively traded, Osaka came to be called the nation's kitchen. Here, people enjoy the wide variety of dishes made with carefully selected ingredients. Guided by the spirits of Shimatsu, valuing food, avoiding waste, and using every part possible, together with an intense passion for food, Osaka nurtured a food culture so rich that it earned a nickname, the city of Kuidaore. Meanwhile, in the surrounding areas, rich in nature, mountains, seas, and farmland, local cuisines developed, making use of each region's ingredients. Osaka Bay was once so abundant in fish that it was called Uo-na Fish Garden, and the coastal communities preserved a wide range of fish-based local dishes. In plains, mountains, villages, and many traditional vegetables cultivated for centuries also gave rise to unique regional foods. However, as traditional vegetables have been disappearing in recent years, Osaka Prefecture has been actively working to revive and promote them, for instance, by certifying varieties cultivated in the region for more than 100 years as an annual traditional vegetable. Tradition of dashi culture, the people of Osaka value the taste of dashi. It is used not only in soups but also flour-based dishes such as takoyaki and okonomiyaki. While katsuobushi-based dashi is common in the Kanto region, the distinct flavor of dashi in Osaka can be traced back to historical and geographical factors. In the Edo period, when maritime transport was flourishing, the western shipping route was established connecting Hokkaido, the main production area of kombu, via the Sea of Japan to Osaka. Large volume of kombu were brought to Osaka, and this route is now sometimes called the Kombu Road. In addition, Osaka's salt water made it ideal for extracting a flavorful dashi from kombu, which is why kombu dashi became widespread. Later, katsuobushi processed from bonito caught in Wakayama, Kochi, and Kagoshima was introduced, giving rise to awase dashi, a combination of kombu and katsuobushi. Interesting, even within Kansai, there are regional preferences. In Osaka, known for its rich flavor, is used, while in Kyoto, the lighter tasting rishiri kombu is flavored. One of the best ways to enjoy the flavor of dashi directly is through udon. Among various udon dishes, the one most beloved by Osaka residents is kitsune udon topped with the sweet shimada fried top. It is simply a perfect dish where the harmony of dashi noodles and toppings can be saved. So this kind of information is just open on the website, wanted to please take some time to just enjoy this information as well. And then even after just you go back country, yes, just exporting promotion of export of Japanese produce, and also the training education about the certification on the just the culinary contest and the culture. And then also as for the export promotion, export reached 15 trillion yen in 2024, and the goal is 50 trillion yen by 2030. So yeah, today with such understanding of chefs and the culinary experts, we will be guided to discover new values of Osaka food, values we may not have noticed before for environment, history, and the people that produce its ingredient as well as its dishes themselves, captured to us through right taste, hearing, and all our senses. Just imagining the talks of following makes me hungry, and I'm truly looking forward to them as a participant myself. In conclusion, I would like to extend my heartfelt wishes for the continued development of food culture here in Osaka and for the health and the success of all of you gathered today. With this, I close my remarks. Congratulations on the successful opening of today's event. Thank you.
西様どうもありがとうございました。大阪の食についてのご説明、本当によくわかりましたね。私も非常に勉強になりましたし、こちらにいらっしゃっている海外からのゲストの皆様もうなずきながら聞いていらっしゃいました。どうもありがとうございました。さて、それではこれよりシンポジウムを開催させていただきます。ご登壇いただく皆様を順にご紹介させていただきます。それではお一人目はここ大阪からラシームオーナーシェフ高田祐介さんです。どうぞ壇上にお越しください。本日は私と一緒にモデレーターを務めていただきます。ラシームは2010年に開業、革新的なフリースタイルフレンチレストランとして現在ミシュラン2つ星、そして世界のベストレストラン50のアジア版で8位、世界でも44位という本当に世界が注目する大阪のお店ということで、今日はぜひ聞かせていただければと思います。よろしくお願いいたします。はい、そしてここからは本日のパネリストのご紹介です。まずはドイツからエルンストのディラン・ワトソン・ブラウンさんです。ディランさんは東京の日本料理流儀、デンマークのノーマで修行し、ベルリンにエルンストを開業、世界のベストレストラン50にランクインされたほか、2022年度にはですね、ドイツの料理界で最も権威ある賞として知られるシェフ・オブ・ザ・イヤー・ジャーマニーも受賞されていらっしゃいます。続いてはマレーシアからです。アリトルファームオンザヒルのピート・テオさんです。ピートさんはシンガーソングライター、映画音楽家、俳優、映画プロデューサーとしても活躍されています。現在は建築家の奥様、そちらにいらっしゃいますけれども、一緒にですね、農園レストランを経営していらっしゃいます。どんどん参りましょう。次は中東ヨルダンからです。世界のベストレストラン50の中東のチェアパーソンのリーン・アル・ザーベンさんです。リーンさんは食文化を守るコンサルタントとしてサステナブルな活動にも力を注ぎ、地域の活性化に貢献されています。そして台湾を代表するシェフとして知られるアンドレ・チャンさんです。アンドレさんはシンガポールレストランアンドレ、台湾ローなどでミシュラン2つ星、世界のベストレストラン50に何度もランクインしているシェフです。現在はオリエントエクスプレスの料理を手掛けるなど、西洋と東洋の架け橋となる活動を行われていらっしゃいます。以上5名の皆様と私中山とでステージを進めさせていただきます。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。それでは早速ここからは第1部という
Discovery. So the first part is entitled Discovery. Mr. Takada, yesterday, together with 4 guests, you are divided into 2 teams, North and South, and I wonder what kind of impression they had. Okay, I would like to ask the members on the panel. Dylan-san, I would like to ask a question to you. So about culinary culture of Osaka What are the new discovery, or what was the thing you were surprised about Osaka's food culture?
So the thing that surprised me the most about Osaka, I've been coming to Japan for many years, and I've been to many different parts of Japan. And the thing that I would say was the most surprising was the openness and the friendliness of the people. So you can, you have a lot of course, tradition, very unique ingredients, but in other parts of Japan, sometimes people are not so willing to share and not so excited to represent their special, whether vegetables or traditional sake, or are also experienced at a amazing countryside restaurant, serving beautiful local produce, but in such a friendly and open way.
やはりこう大阪の
Well, the Osaka people's characteristics, and Osaka people are so open and friendly, and our guests are probably impressed, and they are also open to Osaka people, and that is my impression. I also could have a very open dialogue with them. Now, Pete-san, next, could you please go ahead?
For me, it was. This is not the first time I've come to Osaka. I came as a child, and then I came to play a concert. Then now I come this time, my third time. But this time is the one I think most memorable for me, because as Dylan said, I think now you understand how open, how direct and friendly and warm Osaka is. And for me also, knowing the stories of the people we met. Like yesterday we went to Noziarata, the restaurant. please. And the cuisine was fantastic. And learning about their story, and learning about the story of the Mino beer girls, who, through the generation take over a business and so on. And this morning, learning about, I forgot his name, but
Kombudoi.
Kombudoi, correct. It's the 4th generation now. And I think those give flesh to a lot of the stories and a lot of the communities here. And I think I found it very moving, and I found it that I want to know more. Yeah.
はい、ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much. So the story, when the people are involved, and that's something he was impressed with. And there are a lot of old establishment, traditional, authentic stores and restaurants, and that their history and family story impressed him. Thank you. And Lee-san, could you please go ahead? Lin?
Thank you. For me, I've lived in Japan and I've had some experience around Japan, but it's my first time properly visiting Osaka. And I'm not surprised by the omotenashi and the welcoming spirit that people have here. But what I found beautiful is that there were so many big characters that we met yesterday. And then there was also a lot of the depth of knowledge, of authenticity, of knowing your product really well, of being really good at what you do. And I think that combined with this disarming nature, people being extremely friendly, is a really lovely combination to have depth and also have that openness and friendliness. And it makes things, you want to learn, you want to have the conversation, and you want to learn more about the person and the story behind it. So.
もっともっと大阪のこと。
Well, as she said, she wants to know more and more about Osaka. So the personality of the people are great, and you enjoy the communication. Thank you. Andre-san, could you please go ahead?
Very happy to be here because, in fact, I know Osaka from many of my Osaka friends outside of Osaka. So I think knowing the city, it was the last thing I know about Osaka city cultures, but it's almost kind of seeing Osaka people. I think historically or geographically, it's a merchant trade port, and just like the port itself, accept a different culture, different merchandise to come in here, and then to be part of it. I think that reflects the personality of Osaka people, and I think that is also why it's been so attractive. So I think moving forward, of course, we're going to have a lot of discussion about what Osaka can become, and I think it already have a very unique character among all different Japanese cities.
なるほど、こう港町。
Thank you very much. Osaka is a port city, and people are open, and there are a lot of communication and a diverse city. And Osaka's charm is something he felt. Thank you. And Mr. Takada, Chef Takada, how you feel about Osaka's charm? Well, I think my perspective is different from those from overseas, and I think from overseas chef, I think their comments are very good implication for us to go ahead in future. And at your restaurant in Rashim, you have some playful service and taste, but the freestyle, typical Osaka style open friendliness is. I think maybe Osaka style fit my own personality. Yes, thank you. Okay. Okay, I would like to move on to the second part, that is the dialogue. So yesterday you went to Osaka dish, and today you enjoy hakozushi. So in order for Osaka cuisine to dazzle successful in the world, what would be necessary? If you have any keyword or input, Andre-san, could you please tell us what kind of thing can you advise so that Osaka cuisine will be more successful in the world?
Oh, okay. I think we had many discussion these few days, and I think having a very open-minded food culture of Osaka is definitely the key then, and how we can extend to that. Different from my impressions, very different from different city like Tokyo or Kyoto and elsewhere. Since it's a trading port, and then it has so many difference, and people are having very open-minded to accept the different flavor combinations and how they see the food. So I think we should tack on to this background or trend and make it into a very distinguished character for the city itself, meaning that you have people from all over the world. What is Osaka flavor in their eyes? It's not necessarily for us who live in Osaka to define, but for people who come here and then they physically experience the food and the culture here. To define, I think that's very much Osaka to me. You can't really find the one definition to it, but you can find every day in a different experience here.
なるほど。大阪は食い倒れの街と言われる。
Yes, I think that Osaka has a diversified culinary joy, and from exclusive restaurant to the very casual dining. So you felt the diversity and enriched culinary life. So that's a probably keyword for Osaka food culture will be successful in the world. Lee-san, what do you think?
From what I've seen and the little that I know, my impression is that, like we said, and we had touched upon this, it's a port city, so it is a melting pot that has kind of received a lot of different influences over generations and decades. So how does that define the cuisine? I'd love to see that and understand more about that. And then we talked about freestyle, we talked about deliciousness, and basically combining the old with the new. What are the new chefs doing? What are the new movements? But what is also authentic and traditional? And you just want to kind of experience the soul of a place through the food and through the people cooking it. And like you said, whether it's street food or a fine dining meal, how does that come through? And you're just curious to learn and learn the story behind it more than anything.
なるほど。本当にね、学びがいの。
Thank you. And I think Osaka had a history and also state of the art, like very quickly changing the culinary culture trends. And Mr. Takanori, who's a specialist of the culinary culture business, and everything is changing so quickly in that trend. And still, Osaka had a great history and trend. Thank you. Pete-san, what do you think?
I think it's very important to talk about context, historical context, as well as technique and cuisine and so on. That's very important to understand all that. But it's also equally important to understand that without the community and without the people, without the stories of the people, all this is meaningless. Those things only exist because there's a community and there's a cultural context. The first time I met you, I already felt that your food would be fun because you're a funny guy. So without that, without the person behind that, it's actually meaningless. So I think we can talk about all that. Of course, they're very important, but I think it's also very important to understand that all this only has a meaning when we understand Osaka and Osaka people and what they find funny and what they find warm. I think that's very important.
なるほど。先ほどの
Well, as Nishi-san said before, food and cuisine with identity is what's important, and I fully agree with that because the personality of Osaka people and that identity will create its cuisine, and then the cuisine that reflects that will attract people from within and outside of Japan.
So one thing that I learned yesterday was that Kappo is coming from Osaka. And for me, Kappo is a really much more relatable experience than I would say traditional kaiseki. So Kappo, you're directly interacting with the chef. It's very warm, it's very energetic, and I think this has so much potential with especially with foreign people because they have this direct connection. And in all of my experiences in Japan, I've been here as a tourist, I've been here as working, but every time that I have an experience with Japanese people and they show me something or they share something with me, it's always so rich and so beautiful. So I think Osaka has this quality built into its more casual approach to food that I think if it's shared correctly to the world, it's very, very appealing, I think, especially for Western people, whom sometimes I think find Kyoto or Tokyo a little bit cold or a little bit stiff. So I think Osaka has this ability to really connect. I think especially if it's your first time in Japan, it's a great place to come with some guidance, with some support.
なるほど。初めて来るのには大阪がいいよと。
Yeah, so that's really great. We want to be able to say that if you come to Japan for the first time, Osaka would be the best recommendation. So Kappo is based on communication. So foreign tourists come to Japan and they probably hesitate to ask the chef, what is this fish? How did you cook this? And so in often some washoku cuisine, some people just feel that they have to stay quiet and eat. But in Osaka Kappo, it's different. You can communicate freely, casually. And then chef says, I've got these fish, which one do you like? So it's not just eating food. There's open casual communication. It's an open international trade port. And it welcomes everyone from the world, all these different income groups and different countries and cultures and so on. Thank you very much for your great insight and suggestion. So, Chef Mr. Takada, you have been doing a lot of collaboration and events all over the world. Then, what would you say the positioning of Osaka in the world? Position of Osaka in the world. That's difficult. So we are the only one that goes in the award. So I myself go and join the award events, and so I have a lot of experience and excitement, but I'm not sure if that excitement is shared locally here and the people see it and feel it, and that's the hard bit. So, you go to, there are Osaka restaurants who go to those award events and then they get awards. And Osaka people don't know that they are great restaurants who get awards like that. So, we actually spoke to food producers as well. And what we felt was that Osaka does not really go out and do branding. We don't go out and say, this is Osaka's food, this is Osaka's cuisine, this is Osaka's restaurant. Well, because Osaka people will probably just jump onto conclusion and say, let's just eat, it's good food, we don't care about talking about it. There was a roundtable work session before we were talking, and what everyone was saying was, well, people, audience, the customers, they want to know the story behind it. Where does it come from? Who's producing these vegetables? And Osaka should look at that aspect and emphasize that to create and promote Osaka brand. Do you agree? Yeah. Yeah, in my case, well, I share whatever I know with my clients and customers and audience, but I think I think I should learn more and I should get to know more so that I can promote and advertise more to promote Osaka, its history and produce. And I think I can make these things more known in the world. I think I can help that. So I think this is a good opportunity to prop up my efforts in that direction. So talking about Osaka's cuisine and its connection to relevance with sustainability. So, well, sustainable food, sustainable agriculture, any advice around that? So when we talk about farming, Pete, you have your own farm. So it's like a more metropolitan farming and agriculture. Osaka is a big city. So if you want to do farming, it's going to be city farming. So, you have to be sustainable as a business, and you have to be able to be sustainable economically, and you have to be able to be sustainable as a brand and a produce. So what are the key success factors for that?
I think the key success factor is to understand that it is very hard to be a farmer. I think many city people don't understand this. That we've started a farm for 11 years now. And we didn't start as farmers. I'm an artist. My wife was an architect. So we decided to start a farm because maybe we got drunk, And after 11 years, the thing we've learned, the most important thing we've learned is a huge amount of admiration for farmers. I don't know how they make it work. Because our farm is different. Our farm has a restaurant on it, and it's very specialized. It's only specialized on supplying to fine dining restaurants. That gives it a different sort of business dynamic. Fundamentally, farmers have a tough time because the prices are too low. It's very hard to make a living when the prices are so low. And how we do it is because we then get ourselves into a position where we don't go with market price. our price for going to a restaurant can be as much as 700% higher than the market. Yeah, because we turned it into a service for the chef rather than just providing vegetable. But at the same time, I think it's very important to understand that for farmers to survive in this new world, where especially for small farms, without being large, without producing a lot, is very hard to survive. Most small farms in the world go broke. That is a fact. I don't care whether it's in Japan or in Europe, in Australia, in Malaysia. Most small farms in the world go broke. And we cannot afford to let them go broke because they are very important. Farmers, they make the food. It's very important to keep farmers surviving. So in Malaysia, for example, there's a new generation of chefs that actually not only support small farmers, but they think of all sorts of ways to help small farmers. For example, we have a customer who will call us up and say, you know what, I'm going to give you a budget. Every week I'm going to give you $500 and you just give me what you cannot sell. Anything you cannot sell, I'll take it. So I will help you that way because I'm a creative chef. I can make anything out of anything. That's my skill. That's what I've been trained for. So I will try to help you reduce your food waste, you know, and so on and so forth. So that sort of collaboration between a chef and a farmer is really important, I think. I think that relationship between the people who make the food and the people who grow the food is very important. I think people often forget that, how important that relationship is. And I think that's really the only thing that I learned. Of course, I don't know everything. But what we have found out in the last 11 years is, one, how important farmers are. Two, how difficult it is. How hard it is to make it work. It's ridiculous. I don't know how they make a living doing that. Yeah? And three, how the rest of the community who use food, from chefs to household, can help farmers and understand that farmers, in fact, have a very tough life. In fact, do a very tough job. And I think a lot of respect needs to be given to farmers.
そうですね。やはりこうピートさんの場合。
Yeah. In Pizza, your case, you're not just doing farm. You have restaurant, you have wedding events, and so that's why you are able to monetize. That's your business model, and also you manage with a small number of staff members, and you use online and apps, and you use maximize your use of digital and online, so that you have a business model to produce sufficient healthy profit with minimum resources. So that's a very unique and excellent business model. And close to farming, Dylan, you do a lot of events at farms, and also you are making your cuisine with close collaboration and the relationship with the farmers. So from chef's point of view, your point of view, what do you think? I mean, how farmers can evolve or change?
So I would say to add to Pete's comment about the relationship between chefs and farmers. For me, that changed everything from, I think, for the farmers, but also for me as a chef. Because when you have the trust and you build the relationship with the farmer, so where I am in Berlin is a place with very, very little history. So in Japan, it's amazing because you have hundreds of years and many unique species and unique plants that have been cultivated for generations. In Berlin, there's zero. So I think first and foremost, this is something that you should protect and appreciate because this is not normal in the world. In Europe now, everybody is trying to get back all of these species that were lost. So that's part of our collaboration, and to really motivate motivate farmers to create diversity, because that's good for the environment. It's also good for the chef, and then to create beautiful spaces, because I think most normal people these days have never been to a farm. So I like to create these events where we cook on the farm or in the farm in collaboration with the gardener, because most people have never seen how an eggplant is growing, or how a cucumber is coming from a flower. And I think these creating this connection between the customer or the guest and agriculture also is something that I think creates an alternate form of luxury, where I think our society needs to move towards fresh, nutritious, and also special vegetables are as important for me as meat or fish.
なるほど。まあ本当に
Yeah, so traditional species, preservation of traditional species, it's very difficult. Mr. Tsujita is here. You are talking about red chili pepper, very traditional species, and now you're trying to regain it and then try to market it at an affordable, reasonable price for consumers. I think that's another attractive initiative. So, Lee-san, you are trying to protect some species and vegetables, crops?
For me, it's not just vegetables and species. I think for us, it's traditions, it's ways of doing things, it's preserving craft, whether it's farming or cooking or being an artisan. And how can we promote that and preserve that? Because the younger generation is no longer interested in maybe taking on their father's job or their grandfather's job. So how are we, one, preserving that, two, telling the story, and three, encouraging people to kind of take it on? I come from a place where we're still very much connected to seasonality and traditional ways of doing things, and we're very, like, a family life is very important, family meals, family traditions, and so that still exists, but we're on the cusp of losing it. And so the question is, how do we encourage people to do that, whether it's through building communities and making it cool again, because now the younger generation wants to be cool. So just like Noma made foraging cool, we still forage. It was never a movement. It's still there, you know. It continues to be there. And how can we kind of own that and hold on to that and still kind of document it? Because in our part of the world, we were colonized. A lot of stuff has gone missing. And so we're trying to recultivate that knowledge and redocument it, whereas in a place like Japan, I feel like it's very well preserved. So how can you kind of take that and make it even better? So it's always that question of encouraging the young people to preserve, but also take on the roles of their fathers. And even if it's not the son himself, but maybe someone who's interested in the craft. So how do we make it appealing again?
ね、なんか伝統とか歴史とか守られてきたもの。
Yeah, the value of what's been passed down, I think, is now getting highlighted. So, Andres-san, so Orient Express, and you are a supervisor of that food on a train, historical luxury train. So the meaning of luxury and the tradition must be really important.
Okay. Yes. So from the crops, the farmers, the produce, the cuisine, and to the end part, how do we communicate? And what is the most luxury today? You know, being a culinary curator for the most luxury train in the world, how do we curate that experience? Is how close we can we can touch the culture, we can touch the craft, we can touch the produce itself. Imagine that we're on the train, and it's a train of Silk Road of spices. And on this train, we will stop in many different stops through the lake, through the forest, through the city and the villages. Unlike a restaurant that you have everything comes to you. You go out to these places, and everywhere we stopped, it's a new experience. It's a city that produces herbs. It's a city that we forage. It's a city that we hunt. And so we curate the cuisine based on where we are going, what would be the next city. And so I guess the most luxury dining experience, it's not when everything piles together, and it's not the destination, but it's the process. Like from Singapore to Malaysia or to Penang, it takes maybe half an hour's flight, but it takes 4 days for the train to get there. And you know, every stop that we stops along the way, we upload something from that particular forest, village, lake, farm, and then we cook for our guests. That's exactly what happened there. Then we move on to the next village, and then we upload something that is from that particular places. So I think nowadays how we define luxury is different. It's how close that we touch the craft and touch the nature or the culture itself. So I guess you know, this is a great opportunity for us to reflect, to think about how we let the world touch the culture of Osaka in a different way, to the people, to the food, to the culture itself, and you know, and also to understand the history behind it, and take it as a journey, just like the train.
いやー、素晴らしいですね。やっぱりこのプロセスが大事っていうのは本当に言えることだなと思って。
Yes, the process is quite important, and I agree with you. In order to just write a story, yes, you need to have just a clear process. Otherwise, you cannot put your emotion into that. If there is a ebi imo, here this is the ebi imo that my grandma just cooked when I was young, and then so that why you may have some special feeling on ebi imo. So how that particular just some certain product is produced, where and how, and I think that is kind of a story associated with some certain product. By just clarifying a little bit better, then people may feel that they just get in touch with culture or history. So I think that kind of a curation, that may be one of the paths we may just follow. Thank you very much. And here, I would like to just open the floor for further communication. And so if you have a question, please raise your hand. And please just state your just affiliation and state and to whom you would like to ask a question. Please just make that kind of statement before you start asking a question. Anybody? Please feel free to ask any question. Yes?
So I'm super humbled to have spent the last few days with you all and learned a ton. As somebody who's not Japanese, I can appreciate your perspective, but as somebody who lives in Japan, what I worry about, like on the one hand, I'm very excited by all of this energy, but on the other hand, you're going to go home soon, and I don't think that Osaka needs help, like to be saved. It's not that, but how can we build a better bridge so that this doesn't become a thing we do once a year, right? And you're all incredibly busy. That's clear. So, like, how can we on the Osaka side help us more, if that's a thing? Is it just better communication and not asking you to be ambassadors for Osaka when you leave, but there's got to be a better way of building this bridge. And I don't expect you to have all the answers, but that's something I want to figure out, and I'm willing to help, because it'll be a shame if all of this is like bubbling up and then it's like, okay, I'll see you in a year or two. So just something to think about.
そうですね。どなたか。
Yes, to anybody? Any? Dylan?
So I think it's a great question. I would say that in my 2 days of being here, so in my humble opinion, I really think it's a communication issue. I think Kyoto is very specific about communication. I think Tokyo is very specific about communication. And I think Osakan people are happy with what they have, and they don't feel the need to scream to the world how great Osaka and the food culture is. And I think it's just about gathering all of the parts and sort of presenting an identity, which it has, and then communicating that to people.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Osaka is very special because, can I be very direct, like Osaka? That if you are outside of Japan and looking in Japan, looking at Tokyo, looking at Kyoto, it's not fun. It's very admirable. It's precise, it's civilized, it's refined. It's everything that we know Japan for. But that's not Osaka, is it? You know, Osaka is a town when you win a baseball match, people jump into the river. That was my first impression when I had a concert here. When you beat the Giants, I think it was. Yes, and people were jumping into the river. Nowhere else in Japan would that happen. Now, I don't think that is communicated enough to the world. That here's this city that is kind of mad, kind of fun, kind of warm. And it's not that Japan, it's a different Japan. And together that with Tokyo, that makes Japan. And I don't think that's communicated enough. So yeah, so I agree with him. It's really about communicating that message. And to answer your question, Jonathan, I'm kind of by nature suspicious of messiahs and heroes. I don't like them. I don't think four of us could ever do enough. And I don't think you should rely on four of us. I think a lot of it is really your community. How does your community speak to the world about yourself? That's what I thought. And second, of course, something we talked about in the round table, which is how does real connections get built between Osaka and the rest of the world? I mean, this is beyond marketing, beyond branding talk. This is real reactions, real connections between communities in Osaka and communities, in Malaysia, in my case. How do we let those communities build bridges? People build bridges. And that is what the world needs. Not so much only about marketing. I think it's really about something real, that you're building bridges with communities. I'd love to spend a week in Noziarata. I mean, I would love to learn. You know, that stuff is fantastic. You know, or Yuka-san, who was a farmer with our round table this morning. I thought she was fantastic. So it's those relationships, I think, ultimately that builds the bridges.
はい、ありがとうございました。やはりコミュニケーションが重要だということ、そしてやはり
Yes, communication is important, and the identity is important as well. What Osaka's cuisine is, and what is the food culture in Osaka, using just the internet or website and others. Just taking a specific example, for example, Nordic statement or declaration that was made before. So like that, so how you can just define Osaka's cuisines that should be just communicated throughout the world, and then that would make things easier and clearer, I think. And then thank you. And the next one is a third session. The theme is declaration. So could you please stand up on the stage? I would like to ask all the panelists to stand up on the stage. Well, in spite of a busy schedule, now we can just have Osaka Prefecture Governor, Mr. Yoshimura. So Governor Yoshimura is kindly with us. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining this event. Well, yes, thank you. Thank you very much. I think you must be very, very busy. Could you please just say a few words for us? My name is Yoshimura, the Osaka Prefecture Governor. Well, I would like to just say congratulations for having this special food symposium. Osaka is a kind of capital of food culture, and you may know now we are having just a world exhibition on Kansai 2025, and you can enjoy a lot of different foods there in Banpaku as well, and then also just a special event, a festival. And we just set a special just a pavilion to just exhibit the food, and then not just enjoying the taste of different foods. I think the food and that is quite important to just bridge different communities of people or groups of people. I think the food is very, very powerful and amazingly powerful. That is how I believe. And the Osaka people respect the food and the culture of food, and that is the result of a kind of accumulation of different series of histories starting from Edo or before Edo. So the different food ingredients come to Osaka and then just create the dashi culture, and then also flour-based just cuisine cultures. And of course, this is not one night just a result. And then Osaka people are so open; they have an open mind, and that is another element to just communicate the good point of Osaka cuisine. Food and just dishes that is quite attractive and drawing a lot of people from different world, and you may have different memories related to the food you may have eaten. And I think for sometimes to eat something special, you may just take trouble to just go for a season somewhere. And then we respect food and we respect the culture. Food cultures, so that is quite important, just a core of Osaka culture. Well, we would like to just continue this kind of effort and initiative furthermore into the future. Thank you very much. That's a very good message from Governor Yoshimura. Thank you very much. Could you please sit down? So from here, I would like to just start think about the themes, and that is attractiveness or charm of Osaka's food culture. And then also, what kind of angles should we have in order to just send out the charm of Osaka to just overseas? So Takeda-san, could you please just say something about the food culture of Osaka? What is the charm or attractiveness of Osaka's food, and how to just send it out as a message throughout the world? Well, sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. Just I was taking some time. Yes, to just send out a message throughout the world. Yes, we are now with some special guests from different places or different countries. Actually, this is not new things, but this may be another opportunity for us to have a closer and deeper communications with other people. And actually, my just main stage is a restaurant, so I would like to do that in my own capacity.
Communication is the key, as it has been mentioned, and also the communication between producer, communication between chef and chef, communication between chef and farmers. And when we have that dense communication, probably culinary culture will be further enhanced. And Osaka is an international port city, and this is that area with a lot of exchange of people going on. And I think this is a great idea. Thank you very much. Then, so who's next, Andre-san or Dylan-san? Okay, Andre-san, could you please go ahead? So could you please have a final message?
First of all, I think if I would say one word for Osaka's cuisine, is we know how important a dashi is for Osaka and for Japanese cuisine. And probably one day this dashi can be in any cuisine in the world. And would that be one of the elements that the message that we want to give to the world about Osaka, and as well as to let all different food culture come to Osaka, and then to have that influence of Osaka in each cuisine. And I think Osaka being one of the most open-minded city in Japan, it definitely has the potential to welcome even more different food cultures and influence into the city. Thank you.
open mind.
Thank you. Open-mindedness is the key of Osaka, and Osaka is ready to accept a lot of things, and generosity. And Osaka is said to be the nation's kitchen. And in the past, from various parts of Japan, and various food come to Osaka. Now, from various parts of the world, the various food come to Osaka. So Osaka is an international city, and that's Osaka's charm. Thank you very much. Thank you. Lin-san, could you please go ahead?
I think kind of, bringing all of this together now, we talk about tradition and authenticity, and then we talked about everyone having big personalities and being open and friendly. And so how do you bridge the gap and do things the Osaka way, quote unquote? It's your way of doing things. It's your way of seeing the world. It's your way of using ingredients. So you have the traditional way, the shokunin, the details, the attention, and then you have the freestyle. And just to say one quick thing, when I first met Takada-san, it was in 2022, I think, in London. And I remember I was sitting next to them, the team, and they had so much personality. They were so fun and so memorable. So this is something that really sticks with you. It's like we say, the Osaka way. It's tradition, but it's also fun. They had glasses, they had T-shirts, and everyone was curious. Who are these people? We want to talk to them. We want to learn more. And so it kind of put Osaka on the map just by being themselves. So it's just, it's being who you are and doing it your way.
なるほど。大阪流っていうものがね。
Yeah, this is Osaka way.
Just real quick, exactly just to echo the what Dean had said. I think the Osaka people are too shy to say that this is Osaka way. Yes.
そうですね。何か大阪産のものであったりとか、これが大阪。
Well, as to this is the product from Osaka, and this is Osaka way. However, Osaka people are too shy to say that. So are they humble, or Osaka people humble, or are they consider that too troublesome? So probably, or sometimes they are too eager to do something. And when Mr. Takada goes abroad, he put on glasses, like huge glasses, like. When I went to Torino, the Myaku Myaku Expo characters glass. Yes, that's a character from Expo Osaka. So he always shows some playfulness. His team always have the kind of playfulness, and fun-seeking spirit is something great. And we all know that this is Takada over there, and that's his special characteristic. But I think it is rare for Osaka people to do that. So I think you are one of the rare people even among Osaka citizens. Well, so I'm praising you. So I think we should appeal to the world that this is Osaka way, just like Mr. Takada. So that's a message, yes. So that's a big impression. And she met you 3 years ago. She still had a vivid memory about that. And how about you?
I personally owe a big debt to Osaka, because my first ever manager in Japan is from Osaka, and she helped my career so much. So I rather enjoy being in Osaka because you all remind me of her. She's very direct. And I agree that Osaka doesn't say enough that this is Osaka and we are proud to be Osaka. Because Osaka definitely is different. It's definitely different. And I would like to do my part to help that communication, because I would like to invite you guys to Malaysia, or Yuka-san from this morning to Malaysia. I have a purpose in doing that, so that if I invite them, they'll invite me back to Osaka. So maybe I'll learn more about Osaka also. So thank you very much.
いや、やっぱりこう
Well, thank you. Well, the producer, when he had a discussion with producer, a kind of the human resource exchange between farms, and that was the topic he was talking about. I think this is great because when you ask to Osaka people to come to us soon, and probably Osaka people are very happy to come really to your country. And Osaka people are not too formal, but they are very open, friendly. So probably you will want to say to Osaka people that could you please come to our farm next time. So I think this is Osaka way, Osaka people's characteristics to promote good communication. Dylan-san?
I would say, for me, the future for Osaka is extremely bright because you have authentic people, authentic culture, history, and openness. So those four things together create very real experiences for people. And I think you can go to Kyoto and you can see old buildings. You can go to Tokyo and you can spend a lot of money. And I think from my experience in Osaka, you can come and meet people and have very, very warm experiences and fun experiences. And I think this is very unique. And as much as I love Kyoto and Tokyo, to me, this new experience in Osaka was really, it makes me want to come back soon, which I think is the most important part.
いや、もう本当にね。
Thank you very much. Well, that place and restaurant, we are very happy to have people to say that they want to come back here again. So you are here for 2 days, or I think actually it's 1 day, realistically. Of these top chefs and top creators, top journalists, they are all charmed by Osaka. So I think Osaka has a great power and great charm. So I think really it's great. And people in Osaka, thank you very much. Thank you. So I think he is almost crying. It seems he's so happy and he's so glad. So Governor Yoshimura, how you feel? Yeah, I'm very happy to hear all these words. So diversity of Osaka and open-mindedness of Osaka, actually, for our friendliness, we have been valued, and this is something we continuously value in future, and also want to challenge something new, including culinary culture. So that is the ideal city of Osaka in future. As to the culinary culture of Osaka, as it's shown here, we do have the great food material. You talked about the adashi, and I also talked about the dashi at the very beginning. So dashi is never easily mimicked, and dashi is really deep, and I feel dashi is really great and have depth. So I enjoy culinary culture in other countries, but I feel something lacking. I think dashi has depth, and also the culture and history behind the dashi. So with open-mindedness, we would like to show typical Osaka's culture, and I think we still need more improvement to communicate Osaka's great culinary culture to the whole world. So with their help, that's something we would like to communicate further to the world. Like as to the food in Sakai, and you really embrace and value food and that is the idea of city and open-mindedness of the people. And I think we are hosting the World Expo this year, and this is the second time of Expo, and including flower exposition, it's third time. It is because Osaka people so open-minded and friendly. That's the reason why we are hosting such a big exhibition, and we will continue this kind of approach. Thank you. Thank you very much. Open-mindedness can connect the people and people between Japan and the world. Now, from Governor Yoshimura, there's an announcement. That's what I heard, yes. The charm of culinary culture should be further communicated to the world. And we need the advisor for the culinary culture, a kind of the supporter or ambassador. I would like to ask someone who? The person wearing the glasses, and he was wearing the myaku myaku Expo characters glass. Yes, that's Mr. Takata. Thank you very much. Yes, you have such a visible glasses. Yes, thank you. Now, we would like to have the presenting ceremony of the certificate of appointment. Okay, Governor Yoshimura is providing the certificate of appointment of culinary ambassador of Osaka, and Mr. Takada is going to be the announcer. This is the certificate of appointment, Mr. Yusuke Takada. So we are going to appoint the Osaka Prefecture's strategic culture in the food and various areas. Thank you very much. And this is Yoshimura, 23rd September 2025. How do you feel, Mr. Sakaya? So I wonder whether or not I will be the appropriate person to be appointed, but thank you. I will do whatever I can to help Osaka. And I hope that Osaka will be much better city and much more successful in terms of culinary culture. Could you please give him big hands? Okay, we are going to have a photo session, so could you please come to the center of the stage? Let us take a photo. Congratulations, Mr. Takada. Could you please be seated again? Thank you. Well, today, to the panelists on the stage, there's a special small present from Governor Yoshimura. So thank you, Mr. Yoshimura. Osaka is very famous for towel from Senshu. And Osaka is the capital of culinary culture. And eggplant. So this is a towel dyed with eggplant. So this is a towel dyed with eggplant. Eggplant has a beautiful color. So this is a special. Yes, this is a special hospitality of Osaka. Yes, this is a special hospitality. We would like to expand this kind of hospitality. Okay, could you please present this gift from Mr. Yoshimura to Andre first, or Dylan-san? Dylan, could you please receive the present first? Thank you very much. Thank you for it. Okay, let's take a photo. Photo of two persons. Okay, we are going to have a photo session with Governor Yoshimura and each panelist. So if you received it, could you please have a big smile and take a photo with Governor? Thank you very much for being with us. Next, Pete. Thank you very much for valuable advice. And you are a farmer, at the same time you are a creator. And thank you very much for brilliant comments to us. Yes, big smile, please. Okay, thank you very much.
Next, Ms. Lin. Thank you. Thank you for everything. So you hold a lot of food-related events. Thank you. Andre, thank you to you. So you're a chef connecting the East and the West. Thank you. And they're getting up on the stage twice, Mr. Takada, once again. Thank you very much. And I hear actually I get mine as well. I'm happy. Thank you for really good moderation of the event. Thank you. Okay, so please take your seat once again. And one more announcement from Osaka Prefecture, very special announcement. After the expo, from October 27th to early January, there will be the Osaka Foodies Marathon will take place. So we got a lot of insights and advice from panelists. Osaka is renowned as a city of culinary indulgence, offering diverse and high-quality dining experiences 24 hours a day. This event will provide more entertaining and engaging value by dividing the experience into 3-hour blocks. So participants can enjoy different aspects of Osaka's food culture in rotation. So it is scheduled to be, it's really a kuidaore or culinary indulgence event. It is scheduled to begin in late October. Yeah, this is a Foodies Marathon. We have very great restaurants. Restaurants will have digital stamps. So you do stamp rally, and then those who actually moved around visiting restaurant over 42 kilometers, and they get special presents. So that's a Foodies Marathon. I hope you will enjoy, and also enjoy great restaurants in Osaka. I think that offers a great opportunity for people to get to know about their own restaurants in Osaka. So every 3 hours means that from midnight to 3 a.m. there's some food that people can enjoy in that midnight, and depending on the restaurants, because I want to promote Osaka's night culture as well. Osaka will be a city of night entertainment in a broad sense of term. Yeah, so 24 hours round the clock food city, and I hope that tourists from all over the world will come to Osaka to enjoy that. Finally, would like to hear a few words for closing. Once again, thank you very much everyone for joining. Well, for Osaka, food will continue to be an important aspect of Osaka. I'm a governor, and we have from the Osaka Council member as well. I think Osaka food culture is one of the greatest aspects of Osaka, but I think we are not doing good enough in promoting and advertising. So Takada-san, you have great responsibility on your shoulders because I appointed you as our ambassador. So you have a great responsibility. You have a big job to do. Okay, so let's work together because we have things that we can be proud of to the world. So let's do a better job in promoting and advertising. Thank you very much, moderator and the panelists. Thank you, everyone. And once again, the four panelists, thank you very much for your wonderful, valuable advice and insights and information from all over the world. Thank you. So this brings us to the end of the Osaka Culinary Immersion International Symposium. Thank you, Governor Yoshimura, taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. Thank you. Okay, so the broadcasting transmission will end here. This is the end of the program. Thank you very much, everyone, for staying with us until the end of the program. Thank you.